Hey folks, and welcome back to Glenn and Adrian's Rock Talk. That's Adrian.
And that's Glenn.
And today we're going to bring in a new artist singing an old song. So you probably know the song, but not the artist. The artist is named Susan Christie. And she put out, or that is to say, she recorded an album in 1969, which is pretty highly regarded now, but didn't actually get released until 2006. She had one single of some note before this called I Like Onions.
Onions, onions, la la la. Onions, onions, la la.
Maybe some of you know it. It was kind of a silly song. On this record, she does kind of an acid freak out on one of the songs. She has a drummer with her that, he's got beats. For 1969, you're like, well, this sounds like 1989. We're going to look at the song Ghost Riders in the Sky. This is a song that Johnny Cash made famous, but actually even before that, it was written by Stan Jones back in 1948. This is one of those songs that gets covered by so many people you can't count them. You know, it's almost like Yesterday, but for the country world. You know, like everybody's covered it. So you've probably heard the song. Marty Robbins also did a really famous cover. I have heard the audio before. I haven't listened to it in a while. So yeah, as I recall, the drums on this are also pretty different for the time. Just think about the time period we're talking about, 1969, when you listen to it. And this is more straight ahead, actually. Maybe if people like this, we'll go back and do the Acid Freakout song. Adrian, any thoughts ahead before we begin?
Yeah, I know there's a song that's been around for a while. Actually, the first time I heard this phrase was in a song called Iron Fists by Motorhead.
Yeah, well, it was probably an homage to this song.
Could be.
It's that famous, and it sounds like the kind of song that Lemmy would probably like, even though it's country. All right, well, with that, why don't we go ahead and take a look at this?
All righty.
Cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, a-plowing through the ragged skies. Were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel. Horns were black and shiny and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky. He saw the riders coming hard and heard their mournful cry. Yippee-yi-yi, Ghost riders in the sky. The riders looped on by him. He heard one call his name. You want to save your soul from hell or riding on our reign? Then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Yippee-yi-yi, Ghost riders in the sky.
Giddy up.
Giddy up.
Almost hear the cowboys whooping and yelling in the background and like the clopping of hooves.
Yeah. I think that was kind of the the idea, trying to get that mood up. It was funny. Sometimes the horns reminded me of, I don't know, cows mooing or something.
I didn't pay much attention to the horns, but yeah, I guess you could interpret it that way.
It's an interesting interpretation. I mean, to me, it's not straight country, that's for sure. But I don't know that this particular type of music existed at the time, really. You know, there's more beat to this than you would expect from that time period.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that.
That's one of the things. I mean, like I say, I've heard the album. The drummer is one of the people that really stands out on it. But I like the guitar work on it too. The acoustic guitar there was really nice. It's like perfectly placed, playing the right stuff. Maybe the overall arrangement was a little overblown, but maybe it was supposed to be, you know, almost a little psychedelic in a way. Just a tiny bit, a little bit of tinge of psychedelia.
There's another song that's more psychedelic.
There's some good things on this record, you know,
Yeah.
but I haven't listened to it in a long time. I mean, it was in rotation for me 2006, you know, so it's been a while. So we don't know what's happened to Susan Christie ever since. I believe this was kind of the start and end. Okay, yeah, her talking about this album a little bit, I guess. She was working with a guy named John Hill, and they got an album deal with ABC Paramount, and it was for this album. And they said they carefully selected a mixture of country, folk, and psychedelic songs and created unique original renditions of each for an album to be released under the title Paint a Lady. After the first few tracks were completed, ABC Paramount pulled the deal, declaring the album to be uncommercial. Personally, I'm glad that it eventually came out, because pretty interesting record. I really should play it more often, but this gives me the opportunity to kind of revisit it for the first time in a while. So apparently she still sings from time to time. She's not really creating new albums or anything, but it's nice to know she's still out there and still does the occasional gig. That's really cool. So, okay. Well, this was loads of fun.
I agree.
So folks, why don't you let us know what you thought of this song? If you've ever heard of this artist before, you know, have you heard this album? It's one of those things that maybe collectors have heard, but probably not very many others. What'd you think? You know, how does it stack up with other Ghost Riders that you've heard? And what did you think of the arrangement, considering when it happened? You know, this was the time when Sly and the Family Stone were just breaking out, you know, having big hits for the first time, you know. But it's quite different from that. And if you can think of another artist from that time period that it kind of resembles, leave that below too. I'd be interested in hearing what you think. So, and if you have suggestions, you can leave those as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you enjoyed our presentation, please subscribe. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next one. All right. Take care, folks.
See y'all later.